Hello and welcome to Arsenal Analysed. I'm JC. I hope you're doing well. As you can see, I've got a big smile on my face. Arsenal have potentially lined up their second signing of the season, barring a few medical exams. And I'll be breaking down Fabio Vieira. Yes, you heard right, Vieira. Another one potentially back at Arsenal. Just a little bit to live up to, but we'll be breaking it all down for you in a scout report today. And if you are looking forward to today's video, go ahead and smash that like button. And if you're new around here, why not consider subscribing? But what will we be covering during today's video? First things first, of course, the player profile. He's one I wasn't very much aware of, someone I've never seen play football before, in fact. So I had to do some last minute research. Then we'll dive into those all-important heat maps of movement to see what he's like on the pitch, some statistical analysis alongside those player comparisons, of course, before finishing up with his strengths, weaknesses, style of play, and how he compares against colleagues in the Portuguese league. So without no further ado, let's jump into that player profile. So as you can see on screen, Fabio Vieira, he plays a completely different position, but we can still get excited. He currently plays for Porto in Portugal. However, he will soon be a former employee of the club. Aged 22, not quite part of the full international team, although he was a regular for the under-21s. And I do believe he was player of the tournament in the most recent competition. Now, he plays as more of an attacking central midfield player, although he can play in a variety of positions and roles, that being maybe a second striker, where he's often been utilised there for Porto, and also on the right and the left wing. Now, there has been some big calls on who he is most like. I've seen Porto fans say that he is a better version of Bruno Fernandes, or someone with a higher ceiling. Others have compared him most like to Bernardo Silva, a pressing, attacking midfield player. Not necessarily the same type of player as Martin Odegaard. Others have even said that he's a mix of Santi Cazorla and Bernardo Silva. So if he's a mix or even half of any of the players just mentioned, very exciting times ahead. Left-footed, standing at 5'6", and the contract that he has apparently signed with Arsenal is due to run all the way through until June 2027. And the fee is somewhere in the region of around £30 million plus around £3 to £4 million worth of add-ons, depending on how he gets on in certain competitions. If we have a little look here at his heat map over the last 2 seasons, I thought it would be a good idea to see how he compares to Martin Odegaard, someone who plays on that right-hand side where he's often utilised in central midfield, but also Bernardo Silva, because he is a player that did 2 seasons ago often play on that right-hand side, but also a player that he is most likened to. So looking here at his most recent heat map in 2021, I would certainly say that it's most similar to Bernardo Silva, happy to operate anywhere in that final third, operating outside that 18-yard box from left to right. Yes, most of that deep red is on the right-hand side, but we can see that he's an adaptable player due to the multitude of positions that he has played. And we can see that transition that Bernardo Silva made from the 2021 season to the 21-22 season, where his heat is a little bit more spread from left to right. If we have a look at Martin Odegaard here, most of his heat for the last 2 seasons with Arsenal is all situated on that right-hand side. Now, some could argue that Vieira is coming in as competition or cover for Martin Odegaard, or potentially we could look to switch more to that City formation and system that Arteta no doubt helped Guardiola with whilst he was at City, where we're having Partey as that deep single pivot and 2 more attacking, creative-minded midfield players in front of him, which would be similarly to the likes of Bernardo Silva and Kevin De Bruyne sitting in front of a Fernandes or Rodri. So definitely some exciting times there, more creative players. And I can't say that we've had anyone close to Santi Cazorla since he left. With regards to his numbers, some really impressive details here, in my opinion, although it says that he played a total of 27 times in the Portuguese league last season. He only managed 15 starts, and that coincides with the just over 1,300 minutes that he recorded last season. And if we compare that to the likes of Odegaard and Bernardo Silva, nearly double the amount of minutes recorded. And what really does impress me is in those 15 starts, he recorded 14 assists and 6 goals. Now, look, with all due respect, the Portuguese league isn't as fast, isn't as physical, and the quality isn't as high compared to the Premier League. So if he can even record half those numbers, if he can get 10 to 15 goals and assists in his first season, that would be a huge win. Something that Odegaard did achieve last season with Arsenal, 7 goals and 4 assists. And we all know what Bernardo Silva's qualities are like, what he brings to the table. Again, over 10 goals and assists, 12 in fact. But what really does impress me is one of his big pluses, which we'll get into in the next section, is that he does like a long shot. 2.6 per game with an accuracy of 35%. Not quite in the same ballpark as Odegaard and Silva, where they record less. Their shots are far more higher quality. With regards to his passing, there or thereabouts, not as many passes per game, but he is said to be the heartbeat of the Porto midfield. He really gets them going, especially when pushing forward. And this is highlighted in the chances created per 90 minutes at 2.4, very similarly to Martin Odegaard. And to my surprise, I did think that Bernardo Silva's would be a little higher, although nothing to be scoffed at 1.9. Crosses, 6.4 per game, 22% are accurate. Good numbers compared to the likes of Bernardo Silva, for example. It seems as though, for those regular watchers on the channel, a lot of the players that we've been doing scout reports on recently have all had really high crossing numbers. So maybe that's a bit of a tell to the sort of system that Arteta looks to want to implement next season. Dribbles really, really impressed me, and this is where he is likened to Bernardo Silva, 3.2 per 90 minutes with a success rate of 46%. That needs to bump up just a little bit. That might skew slightly when he does head into the Premier League. But if we have a look at Bernardo Silva there with 3 and a 57% success rate, definitely the most similar. Aerial duels is one of the areas that he is a bit of a bad one for him, but his ground duels, 10.4, 54% success rate. Now, one thing that Bernardo Silva is often credited with is how good he is at pressing, that high press, and Vieira is someone of a similar mold. So as I've already said, yes, he's coming from the Portuguese league. Maybe take them with a pinch of salt. He wouldn't be the first player to come from that league and transition and adapt very, very quickly, but some very, very nice numbers to get excited about. Finally, in this last section, we're going to have a quick look at what he offers in his style of play, his strengths, his weaknesses, and how he compares to colleagues across the Portuguese league. So with regards to his style of play, he is a set-piece threat, so that's taking the corners as well as those free kicks. He often gets fouled, and that's because he loves to dribble. We've already highlighted that he likes those long shots, ground passes, as opposed to those long diagonals and crosses and layoffs, those little 1s and 2s, certainly his style of play. He loves to hold on to the ball as one of his strengths. Passing is a huge part of his game, which is actually highlighted in the graph that you can see on the left-hand side. He sits in the top 99 percentile for passing efficiency in the Portuguese league, which is absolutely fantastic. Set pieces, which we've already touched on, dribbling that we've already touched on, and defensive contributor. Now, this is, from what I understand, more of a defensive contributor at the higher end as opposed to defending in our own half. And that's why I've highlighted it as a negative, because when we look at his defensive numbers that are highlighted on the left-hand graph in red, they're very, very low. So he sits in the bottom 49 percentile for tackles, and also blocks, bottom 34 percentile, interceptions, bottom 18 percentile, ball recoveries, bottom 7 percentile. Fortunately, this is not the reason we're looking to bring this player in. We're looking to bring this player in because of his attacking stats highlighted in blue and his possession stats highlighted in grey. As already mentioned, top 99 percentile for passing efficiency, top 96 percentile for expected build-up play, progressive passes, top 88 percentile, progressive carries, dribbling that ball forward, taking his man on, top 89 percentile. Attack value added, top 98 percentile. Non-expected goals, top 96 percentile. Open play expected assists, top 99 percentile. Open play key passes, top 97 percentile. And last but no means least, his passes into the penalty area, top 98 percentile. Some absolutely delicious, mouth-watering numbers there, in my opinion. And like I say, to all you regular watchers, for anyone who wants to go back, pause the video and digest this at your own pace, you're more than welcome to. But that is going to about wrap things up for this video. It certainly highlights to me why Arsenal have decided to sign this type of player out of the blue. No links up until yesterday when it finally broke that we had accepted a bid, and he should be an Arsenal player, hopefully, in the next few days. Who knows? By the time you finish watching this video, he may already be an Arsenal player. But do go ahead and smash that like button if you have enjoyed today's video. And if you're new around here, why not consider subscribing? I'm less than 80 away from 1,500. Support recently has been fantastic. But for now, I'm JC, and I'll catch you in the next one. Stay safe and take care.